Hi, I'm Dr. Mana J. Evans-Brewer, and I'm sitting with Gia Boo.
Gia.
This is definitely Talk What?
This is talk number 7.
This is Talk 7. So, we're going to go a little bit deeper, and we were talking about some irritating stuff. Ghana has given us so many blessings, so much to be excited about, but we will not lie to you and tell you that everything was cookies and cream, peaches and plums.
Yep.
What else could we use? Anyway, I asked you. I said, "What is something that Ghanaians did that really aggravated you? That was really confusing for you?" And what did you end up sharing with me?
I shared with you that what really aggravates me is it's almost like every time you ask them or if you experience, they're always telling you, I wish to be in America. I can't wait to get in America. I want to get this and that and have a nice mansion and get a car and stuff like that. But really, it's the other way around.
Okay, you say it's the other way around. So let's get it straight. So you get regular questions about coming to America, and then people begin to tell you what they believe America will offer them, which is a car, a home. What else?
Furniture and
So it's all this materialistic
yes.
stuff. Okay, and that aggravates you. Why?
Because it aggravates me because they're wrong and all the stuff they're thinking is not true. What happened?
It is possible
yes.
to get a car, to get a house, to get some. But why do you believe that they're so wrong? What is it about that desire and them bugging you with that?
It's because I don't see why you want to come to such a big city and it's not even that easy to get a car or a house and stuff like that. You have to work to get it. You don't just come automatically.
So sometimes they make it seem like it just will happen.
Yes.
And they don't understand how hard it is.
Yes.
To acquire things in America.
Yes.
Okay.
And America is quite rude and selfish, and sometimes they're even meaner with their prices, and sometimes they'll tell you a price this day and they'll switch it to another one, and it's just
you know, some of those things go on with them, but it's kind of smaller scale. But yeah, you're talking about just this sort of dog-eat-dog type of mindset. But you said it's the exact opposite, to mean like they have something better. What is it why that frustrates you? What is it that you want them to know that they have that they don't need to trade off, that they're not going to necessarily get what they want?
I want them to know that they live in a better life than most of us here in America, because most of us, there's a lot of homeless people here.
Homelessness,
lot.
And I don't think they envision that. I don't think they really have a sense that there's a fair share of people here that live on the street, and that's concrete.
Yes, but one thing
yeah.
about these homeless people, sometimes they get homeless because of drinking, drugs.
Yeah,
and
I've explained to quite a few people that drug culture is really, really high here. It's very strong. It has a grip on all types of people, all demographics, men, women, even young people.
Yes.
A huge chunk of young people are addicts, and not functioning addicts, failing addicts. Like they're failing at the life skills. They're failing to acquire good life skills, good lessons in order to at some point be productive people. So what else? What else do you have that you want them to know? What else do they have, rather, that you want them to value, that you want them to know?
I want them to value that they're hustlers, they work, and they have, even though some of them don't like being outside in the sun all day selling, but you have to realize that selling is better than here working, because sometimes the work they do is not even the nice opportunity to do, because sometimes your bosses are rude, sometimes you're like if you're a teacher you don't get that, like sometimes some of the teachers don't like you, or it's just not.
You just don't want them to believe that coming to America is perfect. Yeah, I mean there is, and I have to admit I share a similar frustration with G. I hate, and I've just come to accept it and expect it though. Everyone always says to me, "Oh, I want to fly back with you," or "When you go back to America, will you take me?" Or, so for people that I've built some sort of relationship with, I always tell them, if you manage to make it to the U.S., I will host you. If you make it to the U.S. and you come to Illinois, I will host you. I've had one person, and that was the pastor from Uganda. Yeah, that actually managed to make it to the U.S. He made it twice. Once I wasn't here, but the second time he made it, and we hosted him for like a week. He actually did come and stay with us, and we took him around, and I engaged with him as best as I could. Because I'm not Susie Homemaker, but I'll definitely share my space with you and whatever food or whatever. However, I'll give you rides, whatever I can do to keep you comfortable. But that's about it. I haven't had anybody else really take me up on it, because it takes a lot to get to this country. Like people don't understand. The ticket is extreme. What we spend for a ticket. For our tickets could buy land. That's the truth. You could own some land for what we spend for just a ticket, and then you have to still pay bills back at home and manage your property. You have to balance out, make sure that your work is still going to be available when you return. It's just this whole change of life. If you're going to have any quality time out of the country, not just a vacation, because you and I don't really just go on the typical vacation. It takes a lot, and so that's that end. But I agree with you. Like, you're talking about entrepreneurship. You're talking about, like, you have respect for the fact that everybody figures out, or at least attempts to figure out, a way to make them some kind of money, even if it's just to secure a meal or whatever for the day. And so, and I agree, sitting out in the sun is not necessarily what people want to do. You have to recognize, Gia, that a lot of people that's sitting there had other dreams. They had other aspirations, stuff that they would rather be doing. But on the other hand, I admire so much that you look past that and you say, you know what? You may only just be selling tomatoes, or you're just the fish lady. I respect you. I respect what you're doing, because I like what you said, that you got to hustle. I respect you. I like what you're doing. I want to buy something from you. I want to support your business. I at least want to be friendly with you. I respect that. Yeah. So and I see this is a reoccurring topic with you. You always talk about America and its rudeness. What is Africa? You don't find that rudeness there?
No.
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 No, the African is very welcoming and friendly. I mean, sometimes it's almost hard to discover who don't like you, because people make it their effort to greet you with kindness.
Yes.
Yeah. Now that don't mean everybody nice now, because for non Africans and for people who are traveling, I don't want you to think just because people friendly to you, everything is peaches and cream for you either. You still have personalities. You still have all the stuff that goes with human nature. Okay, but in general, you run into far more kindness and concern, and helpfulness than you do here. So you want them to stay home. Why? Or do you want them to come?
I want them to come. Like, for my friends, I just want them to come and experience my school and my living and my foods that I normally eat.
Okay.
I want them to come and experience, but I don't want to hear, like, if they were grown, I don't want to hear, I want to come and I want to get a white wife and stuff like that. It's like, okay, I understand it don't matter what color you are, it don't matter, but still, do you hear kind of weird that is, that you come from a whole full black nation and you're talking about this?
And why are they talking about wanting a white wife with you? I mean, I had one gentleman. He was a Uber driver that told me he was looking for one, and I said, like, I mean, you want a green card that bad? Like, I don't walk around pulling white women out of my pocket that want to like marry Africans. That would be something you would have to seek out on your own. That's first of all. But second of all, like, what kind of conversation are we really having? So this is just a conversation that people have had around you that you and you just didn't like it.
No. I've had that experience with one person, and I just don't like that. Why would? Because
it is odd. You coming from, and there's so many beautiful Ghanaian women.
Yes.
I mean, just beautiful chocolate and deep ebony and brown women, just curvy and thick, delicious, and all of that. And so then you get this comment.
Yes.
Yeah.
For me, I just don't understand because if you, like, in America, mostly some of the other colored people, they mostly don't like us.
Right.
Some of them, like, they go against us, and whenever they see us, they try to ruin our lives and ruin our days and make it harder for us. So I don't understand, why do you want to go with this person? And why don't you want to go from the nation that you are with? I
guess there is there is a space in there that's just the meeting of a kindred spirit. When you just meet someone that is very different from you, from a very different place, who is a different everything, different ethnic group, different, come from a different community, whatever. Maybe they even speak a different language, and you just love them. This is just, pure and innocent love. But what you're describing, because it's so organized, I want to find me a white woman or whatever. You seem like you want them to know that they could get themselves into a lot of trouble with sort of that, I'm getting sort of a mail order bride. I'm just shopping for another ethnic group that I think I can prosper from. Yeah, and I don't think they understand the difference between here and there, that, we're 12% of the population. There's a fair share of backward white folks that hate us. And, they do make our days long and hard. They do practice evil spirited ways toward us. That's just a part of living. And I guess, that bubbles in your surface when you hear someone that has this nation, which we don't have a nation. We're in somebody else's nation. I can understand why that sort of confuses you. Now, when that happened to you, did you ever ask them, what in the Samuel L. Jackson was they talking about? What in the Charles Dickens was they talking about? Did you ever ask?
I asked them, but they just said, I just want to experience that. But still, me in the corner, I'm thinking, so does that mean that you want to experience this and leave your whole nation for this one person? And what if it don't go well? And then there's another person that end up liking you, but then you go for this woman and it don't go good. So where is it gonna go? You what it sounds like to me is you want them to have some pride about themselves. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. And it's interesting hearing all this come from you, because you're all of 9 years old with this perspective. So you've never fallen in love. Have you fallen in love? No. Oh, okay. You never fallen. You got to ask these days, people. You got to ask. I have a crush before, but never. We've had a crush. Look how they telling me. Who's this crush, Gia Boo? Who is this crush? I ain't supposed to tell you. Why you ain't supposed to tell me? Let me hear. Mom. I hope it's Josiah. Hey. I love me some Josiah. Those out there, please don't go say nothing about no Josiah. No. He's just my friend for your people. Hey. He's our friend-in-law. No. Oh, well, I think that's sweet. I mean, you're in that age group. I remember being 9 and having a crush. I mean, mine was like, you probably won't even know the show, but I had a crush on somebody from Welcome Back, Carter. There was a little show that came on. I had a crush on who was it from
oh, I can't even think of the show now. But they was all like kind of like TV crushes. I think by the time I was 12, I had a show enough in the neighborhood crush. But before that, they was all like TV personality types that I thought was kind of cute. So I don't know what to tell you about that, Gia. That question is like you. I've gotten it a million times about coming to America. One thing I'll tell you that I honestly believe is that the Africans that do make it here don't completely give their family and friends the full picture of life in the U.S. But I also think that there's a disconnect between what Africans know about African Americans, their experience here, because it's not like they read a lot about us or study us or, they just go by media. They go by what's in videos, they go by what's in movies. And so I think that does give them a skewed view. But I love that you have a sort of protectiveness about them, that you want them to understand. You're not going to be as happy as you think you'll be. This is a concrete jungle. You have to work. You have to have the right to work. And there are all these rules and things in place that those same side hustles that they do there would be illegal here, because they would have to be able to afford the permit to be posted and selling things. And if they didn't have the permit, then you get in trouble with the law. If you get in trouble with the law, then you're fined. If you can't pay the fine, then you go to jail. It can be this beginning onslaught of just all these problems when all you was really trying to do was make a little money
and live your best life.
Yeah, and feed yourself. I don't know if sitting out in the sun is your best life, but I don't see anything wrong with it. She knows I'm the queen of a belief in the real hustle. In order to get us to Africa, the first time I drove Uber, I babysat, I sold on eBay, and then I still taught my class. So I had to do quite a few things because everything I do is times two passports, two tickets, two for everything. So I definitely understand, the hustle and what it means. And so I don't judge that. I'm the daughter of a domestic. My mother started as a domestic and was very, very good and was paid quite well because she was so skilled at what she did. Cleaning people's homes, and then she transitioned into elder care. And so I've also later, to get us to Africa, I've done elder care, and I like seniors, so it's not a bad gig. But none of this is get rich, like you don't get rich off of this. You still are living very much check to check. It's everything in America right now is very low wage living, but your bills are high. They're huge. So it takes a lot to pay your rent. It takes a lot to buy food. Food is expensive. Everything is expensive here. But you're welcome to have anything. If you want a car, you want a house, whatever you want, you can get it. But you better have a way to come up with some income that is strong enough to afford you those things. And so Gia has lived with me through it. And so she knows that it ain't easy. Yeah, it's not easy.
And sometimes when you talked about the elder care, sometimes the family members in your elder care job were not so nice neither.
No, they're not, because people sometimes they want their elders to go on to heaven. They actually are sick of them. Actually want them to go because sometimes they want their assets. I've worked for people that they wanted their elder to go so they could get their money, they could have their house. Some of them basically was just not loving people. They just didn't. They knew that there was resources available to get someone to care for them, but they didn't want to really care for them. Basic things that they really didn't need to pay anybody to do, that I was going in to do, they didn't want to do. So that's why they paid someone to do it. And then some of them are just control freaks. Like they get somebody there to actually make them feel like they somebody's master. So, nobody controls me but me. I'm beholden to the Father above, and that's it. That's pretty much who I'm scared of at this juncture. So I don't have a problem walking away from a job, and Gia's seeing me do that. And it's very hard with an elder care because a lot of times the elder needs you, and you actually built a bond with them, and you love them. Like you care about them very deeply. So yeah. Okay, so that's our chat. We wanted to chat about that. We're gonna leave it at that. You revealed a crush. We're gonna call it Gia's secret crush because she didn't really quite tell me who the person was. She already knows it better be Josiah.
Hey! We didn't pass this conversation.
And we both admit that we hate the question, will you take us to America? And they just make out like America is just heaven. Like, you know, if you could just you know, it's just like they want to hold on to the side of the plane and get here. And they don't even know they're not going to find fresh food, fresh meat, fresh...
And lots of
Love your country. Have some dignity and respect about your country and make your leaders act right. You're in the motherland.
And remember, America's full of fake.
Fake breasts, fake hair, fake eyelashes, fake eyebrows, fake meat, fake
nails.
Anyway, this is Dr. Wanda, Gia Boo, and we signing off.
Bye.